Now, here's my next function. I'm going to sketch the graph of just to kind of let you see this. To sketch the graph of this function, first things, find the degree. The degree says that that's going to have an understood 1 there. This one's going to have an understood 1 for an exponent as well, but this one's x to the third, so there's 3. That's 1 plus 1 plus 3 more. That's going to be, the degree is 5. Because that's odd, that means one side will be up, one side will be down, or vice versa. That side will be up, this side will be down. We'll figure that out in just a second based on the leading coefficient. Now look at your leading coefficients. This is going to be a -1, no exponent, so it's going to be a -1. Look at the front number there, times that, it'd be 1 times -1, still -1. Times that number is 7. My leading coefficient is going to be a -7. Remember, we said the negative leading coefficient tells you what's happening on the right-hand side. So when I go to sketch this, I know it's going to be down over here. I'll do it like that, just kind of off to the side to remind you. But because it's odd, it means it's going to be up over here. Going to do some stuff in the middle. We'll figure that out next. For your x-intercepts, find out what makes each one of these things zeros. What can you put there to make that 0? That'd be a +2. To make that one 0, it's a -4. And to do that one, remember, we said you just got to change the signs and move stuff around. You can always take it and solve that one piece out for 0 if you need to. So it'd be 7x equals 2 and x equals a +2/7. Now 2/7 is between 0 and 1. So you don't have to be exact about it, but when you list your x-intercepts, you need to tell me it's 2/7, 0. And then for your y-intercepts, to find that, we put a 0 in place of all the x's. So we can do that right over here. That would be 2 minus 0. That'd be 0 plus 4 cubed. And that'd be 7 times 0 minus 2. Sorry about that. So that's 2. 4 cubed is 64. Wow. And 0 minus 2 is going to be a -2. So that's going to be 128, 256. That's a -256 is my y-intercept. That means this graph crosses down here at a -256. Isn't that crazy? Now graph the x-intercepts. Okay? The x-intercepts are at 2. They are at -4. And they are at 2/7. All right. Now we know the end behaviors have already been decided, so we know it's going to come down through there. It's going to be all up on the left, down on the right. We just got to figure out what's going on. Are these connected above the graph or below the graph? Now because the y-intercept is between these 2 points, I already know that this graph has got to come down through that point and then come back up and touch that one, like that. But you can always pick a number between there and plug it in. It just turns out I've already plugged in a number. I plugged in 0. You can plug in -1, it's going to be a negative. You can plug in -2, it's going to be a negative. -3, it's going to be a negative. So it's going to be below there regardless. We just really need to figure out what's going on between here, and you can plug in a number 1 right now to figure that out. So if I take x equals 1 and plug it in, that'd be 2 minus 1. That'd be 1 plus 4 cubed, and that'd be 7 times 1 minus 2. So that's going to be a +1. That's going to be a 125, and that's going to be, what is that, 7 minus 2 is a +5. That's 3 positive numbers. That's just a positive when you multiply those together. They get connected like that. This is what it looks like. Now, granted, if I were to draw this correctly, more than likely this thing goes straight down to that -256. It shoots right back up and goes way up top and then comes right back down and looks something like that. But all we really care about is where it actually crosses the x-axis, where it crosses the y-axis, and how it's connected and what the end behaviors are. So this is a good enough graph for us right here.